Yeah,
Right.
that's
You
true.
don't know.
Yeah, you have to try everything, you know? Yeah.
Oh, you want a flicker?
Oh, yeah.
Flicker and
Yeah.
just so whenever you're here.
I don't need the mic or anything.
No.
All right.
We don't hear him.
Yeah, no, I meant for the recording.
It
Oh,
doesn't tie
that's-
into there, it
Okay.
just goes to that
Okay.
speaker, so it's not connected. Or not that advanced yet.
Good morning, everybody. I'm Joseph Jackson with Eat This Dessert First and soon to be Dessert First Cafe. We're gonna be here today talking about how I originally took the business from a concept to markets to over 120 locations throughout the state of Florida with grocery stores, coffee shops, Tampa International Airport, and more. And then also touch on how that all collapsed and how I'm going to be built and how I'm in the process of building it back. So that's where we're going to start today. And this is what I do. I figured out how to keep cheesecake cold in Florida because when I first started, every single cheesecake slice I had and whole cheesecake melted on me the first day. Because, Florida's a little too hot for a cold, chilled product that isn't solid. Cheesecake is creamy and rich and likes to just melt when it's in the sun. So that's where the jars came in. I had to figure out how to insulate it. Side effect of the cheesecake jars, it now fit in your cup holder in your car, movie theaters, planes, and more, and also extended shelf life. So I went from about a week shelf life to 2 weeks to 6 weeks. So grocery stores, cafes, they didn't have the loss anymore of having the regular cheesecakes that were by the slice that were going bad in a week or two if they didn't sell. Now they have this great third-party product, no labor, to add a elevated dessert to their shelves. And that's kind of how I started the whole sale process in that way. After doing markets, food truck rallies, and figuring out what I wanted to do with the brand itself, and after a year of being a retail brand in Ybor on 7th Avenue, the old Frankie's Patio part of the Ybor Daily Market, I realized that having one location wasn't going to really make the profit that I needed to live off of. So going around to local farmers markets, cafes, coffee shops really popping up everywhere during the 2015 year as Tampa really started the roasting and local coffee push. So I partnered with a lot of those because coffee and cheesecake and cup holders on your way to work was a great way to start the day and prepare yourself for a great lunch. After working up with a few local shops, I approached Kawa Coffee, which was a great partnership for the years there before COVID. That actually led me into working with Tampa International Airport as well in the grab and go sections. So you can actually take my cheesecakes throughout the US and internationally. Enjoyed seeing a couple pictures throughout Europe where my jars ended up. Then at that point, I switched the focus from local brands to doing statewide distribution. So I was trying to find a grocery store. Worked with into going to Sprouts and a few others, but landed with Lucky's. Lucky's Markets was a great local branded grocery store that helped a lot of local Florida brands grow. And they were a catalyst for a lot of the local items you see now, even in Publix and other grocery stores in the area. Unfortunately, after Kroger decided to pull the funding from Lucky's Markets to do their home delivery, Lucky's went bankrupt right before COVID. So instead of growing to over 86 stores the following year, they shut down with about 29 stores overall and about 200 local businesses from Miami to Pensacola, Jacksonville to Tampa, all took the hit of losing basically our statewide distribution channel. So we all had to take a step back, figure things out. And then about 2 months later, COVID hit us all as well. Fortunately for me, I was a little better positioned because I hadn't bought the warehouse space yet. I hadn't bought the extra equipment yet. So I was able to pivot a little bit and go back to my normal distribution of my other about 80 some accounts throughout the state still. So I was still chugging along, and unfortunately, COVID took things a different way. At that time, then life kind of happened as well. Just give me 1 second here. Yeah, okay. And went through a divorce, went through my mother's cancer coming back and taking care of her through her end stage and passing, and decided to figure out what I wanted to do next. Now, with the brand before, it was Leanne's Cheesecakes with my ex-wife's name, so had to rebrand and relaunch. So why did I choose the name I did? Because I had this as a hashtag for my whole business, was eat dessert first. So I researching and studying different brands, a call to action in your brand will actually help your sales. I've looked at a lot of different frozen desserts, and I forget the name at the moment, but there was a brand that was like Indulge in This was their brand name for their like vegan ice cream. And I was like, okay, that's a good idea. So I went and researched basically keywords and how to brand to make an impact. And to me, dessert first is always adulting done right. So I came up with a little tagline before I actually got the brand to where I wanted it. And there was a few other iterations, but I settled on eat this dessert first, which also allows me to go into the dessert first cafe, which was also my plan at that point, where I was rebranding the business to be a cafe centered brand with wholesale. So I would actually be able to build the brand back and have a home base for my fans, my customers to come to enjoy the environment that I'm creating, while also seeing my products around town, around the state, and eventually nationally. So that's kind of why I wanted the brick and mortar this time instead of just wholesale, because I learned the last time that even though you are a brand throughout the area, having a storefront for people to interact with the bakers, the employees, to feel the atmosphere, they learn more about the brand and what your mission is. So as my mission with this brand is to change the world one jar at a time, I have to have a place to showcase what I'm going to be doing with that. So now I opened up a pop-up inside of a popcorn shop. They were open during the day. I was looking for doing desserts in the evening at nighttime because there was no option for that. Filling out part of the reason why I do what I do is my heritage and my traditions in life is this Italian way is to have your dinner, go out for a walk, a little coffee, a little dessert, have great conversations about the world, your life, family, friends, and then go home and you go to sleep. It's a great way to unwind and relax and really build that community. So without having a space that isn't a bar or a nightclub that's open at night, there's no place for people to do that. And that's what my brand represents. It's not just desserts. It's that opportunity to reconnect with friends and family over a shared meal, shared beverage. And it's those moments that we cherish with each other, because life is about things we share with each other, not just living things and doing things. So without a space to showcase that's what this brand is about, there really wasn't a way to get that message out there. So over the last 7 months, I've built from no customers to now a steady in retail sales of over $5,000 a month, starting just in 7 months. So that growth there and scaling that pop-up where I'm open 4 days a week, only at night. And because it's in someone else's store, there's not dual signage outside. So I'm inside a popcorn shop where I maybe have an 8-frame or a little banner, but I don't have my brand and my identity on street level. So even people walking by, half the time don't even know I'm there. And that's what I've been able to do just in those few months with the networking inside Central Avenue, inside St. Pete with the Grand Central and Edge districts, while also doing my wholesale distribution to over 13 accounts in just a few months, while also building the brand back. So these things are just the base foundation that I needed to have to be able to fund the expansion that is coming next. So one thing I definitely want to say is don't move too quickly. If you outpace yourself, you'll collapse in the end. And like right now, I would love to be out there grabbing 4 or 5 more hotels a week, this and that. I don't have storage. I don't have room for supplies that I need. I don't have steady production facilities because I'm still using my shared virtual kitchen. So these are all things that I'm solving at this point that are maybe delaying the growth, but they're preparing the growth for when it's ready. So let me go ahead and flip over to this next slide about the surround foundation I'm talking about here, and that why it's so important to have that before you go up and try to scale even further. You have to know what you can handle and what you can actually produce without overworking yourself or your team. So like right now, I can produce just over 10,000 units a week. I can't store them anywhere, but I can produce them. So knowing that I can produce them is one thing, but I can't store them or transport them until I get more facility room. So that's why I'm looking at my own brick and mortar cafe to handle the space for the brand, but also to grow. What I say is I'll sell more out the back door than I sell through the front door. But at this point, does anybody have any questions about the start and the foundation of where I've been?
So from where you started before to now, because you restarted pretty much from scratch, what is somebody, or what is something a brand new business should do to get its first customer?
To get your first customers, you need to be seen.
Hmm.
So figure out where you can be seen in your local community. Local markets are a great place. Like I said, I started at the eBoard Saturday morning market. That's a great opportunity, low cost, low entry fee, grab a tent, a table, and sit out there and talk to the customers that come by. There's a lot of other local markets in the area that do the same thing in different areas. So find a place just to basically pop up and be a brand that your community can see. Will you get sales the first day? Maybe, maybe not. But you'll get interactions with people to learn what your customer base is wanting from you. So you may not have your pitch perfectly, but you'll see maybe 100 people that day, and you can pitch them 100 different ways. So you can get your verbiage down and get your branding ideas that way. That's kind of where you need to start to get that first customer, unless you already have friends and family that are waiting to buy whatever you want to buy. But to me, that's really not a great first customer because they're just doing it to support you.
Little bias.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not going to be as critical as a customer buying it when they don't know you and have no investment in you, and your product is what they're buying, not you.
Right.
So just being out there and learning the feedback and seeing what you're missing is probably my best advice.
Do you have any competitor, like someone else doing similar things?
My competitor is everyone else selling dessert. Literally everyone else selling desserts, from cookies to pies to other cheesecakes, ice creams, other
They put in a
confectionaries.
jar or doesn't?
I mean, there's many companies that do jarred desserts different ways. The famous one is Wicked Good Cupcakes that was on Shark Tank, which I've been compared to and said, "Oh, you were on Shark Tank." Yeah, it's out there. It's desserts. I'm not reinventing the wheel. All I did was put it inside a jar so you could walk around with it and eat it, and it won't melt out in Florida heat. And maybe you can sneak it with a boxed wine in your purse to get into the movies a little easier. That's what I'm told. I'm not saying to do that. Don't sneak anything into anywhere, but I've been told people have done that. So it's making cheesecake convenient and more of a daily treat instead of a once in a while indulgence at a main meal. Because to me, cheesecake has always been, oh, you'll grab a little slice, say at Publix or something like that, but that's not really quality cheesecake. That's quick, frozen, just thrown out there. This is a quality New York style cheesecake that's done the traditional ways. So you're getting that creaminess, that richness, that enjoyment of maybe what your grandmother used to make. So
you have like a family recipe to make?
I have a family history in food. So I can take recipes and improve them and do them my way. I grew up in the kitchen with my grandmother, full-blood Sicilian, teaching me all the old school ways of making everything. And then my grandfather was a truck driver who happened to also deliver flour to New York City bakeries. So they taught him the tricks and then he passed it on to me. So I kind of have that cooking and baking background, which is very rare because either you love to cook or you love to bake. You really don't have that combo. So
Won't do the other. Yeah.
yeah, and I kind of bake the way some people cook. I don't necessarily, I have a base recipe, but if the humidity is different, you have to bake differently.
Mhm.
If temperature's hotter or colder. So all those things that are the science side of baking and cooking, I love so much. That's where I nerd out on that because I love science and I love how things interact, different chemical reactions happen. That's where I literally love to play. Like one of the new things I'm going to be doing is sourdough flatbreads, but sweet ones as well as savory. So I'm going to take my cheesecakes and turn them into flatbreads.
Wow, really? I kind of like it.
So,
Right.
so these are things why I'm looking forward to the new cafe and the new space that I'll be able to truly not only enjoy the baking side of me, but also the chef side.
Yeah, yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I see everyone as competition, but I think there's collaboration inside a competition. Like I love working with my competition because they do things great and I do things great. Like there's other coffee shops right around me, but there's one that just does pour overs. There's one that does cold brew and drip. I do espresso with my cannoli drinks. So I do a cafe con cannoli and a cannoli affogato. So instead of cafe con leche, I use cannoli cream instead. And instead of ice cream, I use my cannoli cream and pull a shot of espresso over that. So I do things differently. So every little coffee shop that's there does things a little differently. So we all have our space, but we all like to work together too, like on latte throwdowns or art contest or best this, best that. I'm working to put together a cannoli throwdown for this winter in St. Pete, getting all the Italian places to do who has the best cannoli. So, I've had other cannoli competitions before here. One of my favorite stories is here in Ybor at Centennial Park at the Italian Fest one year. I was on one side of the bocce ball court. Elise's and the Italian club was on the other side of the bocce ball court. We both have towers of our cannolis. I sold over 400 cannolis that day against the Italian American club, and I was not invited back the following year to the festival. And I had people coming over being like, "Oh, why did we do them over here? These are the real ones." I do things in traditional Sicilian way. So I use the real ingredients and I have that passion because it's what I love. I'm making food that I couldn't find the way I wanted it to be made. And to me, that's been the key to my success is making things that aren't out there that I love. And I found out that other people love them too. Like my two best-selling products for this year, products I have never made before. One is a peanut butter pie. I put more peanut butter per batch than any other peanut butter pie out there on the market because it's a peanut butter pie. You want peanut butter taste. You want that lip smacking peanut butter. You want some chocolate. You want some Reese cups. That's selling product. Then my other one is an Oreo Reese's Delight. It came from a mess up. I evidently put a little too much batter into my jars and they overflowed. So they weren't all the way filled. But it was like 2 or 3 dozen jars, and I just didn't want to waste them or eat them myself. And I had a major event coming up that weekend, so I had to figure out something new, something different. So I was like, well, I can fill that up with toppings. What toppings can I put in there? Peanut butter, chocolate ganache, Reese cups, Reese's Oreo Delight. It's sold out the first day of the event. It was Shopapalooza. It's a 2-day event out in St. Pete. I sold all 3 dozen the first day.
Wow.
Then I was like, okay, well, let me make another batch for the holidays. Sold out again. Well, this is going on my permanent menu. So now I have a premium line of cheesecakes because the peanut butter, the chocolate, and everything else costs more. So I actually went from a $9.99 product that I was going to have to a $12.99 product based on the numbers. And now I have a premium line of jars and a regular line of jars. So now I'm coming up with other premium cheesecakes, pies, and things like that to fill out that premium line now I have a little higher profit margin on that because it's the same percentages, but I'm making a little bit more per jar. So those things are kind of as Bob Ross says, happy accidents. Nothing really goes wrong. They're just happy accidents. And that's kind of how you have to do in retail scaling. You have to figure out what to do with your waste so it isn't waste.
Right.
Like when I originally started doing the business, I was selling cookies and brownies and also brookies. When they didn't sell that weekend, I would take them, crush them up, and they would become crust for my cheesesteaks for the next week. So it's like I went from having just graham cracker crust to like a month later having cookie crust, to having brownie crust, to having all these different crusts from all these cookies that I made that didn't sell. But then you throw them in the bottom of a jar with a bunch of the cheesecake batter on it. Yeah, it's absolutely amazing. So it's like it's amazing. Yes. Right now my location is in St. Pete, and I have a wholesale location up in the Fowler area. It's called M&M Games. It's right past USF if you're going towards 275. And I have a full cafe coming soon.
Oh, that's excellent.
Yes.
So since you started before when you were like really a new entrepreneur,
Yes.
and then you restarted, is there anything that stands out that you did differently than before that was like very impactful or didn't do that was impactful?
I didn't spread myself too thin this time. When I first started, I didn't know what I was doing. Literally started the business 2 weeks.
And you want to do everything.
Yeah, I didn't know where my market was. I didn't know who my customers were. I needed to be everywhere to figure that out. So I was doing 8 events a weekend sometimes.
Oh,
Yeah. So Friday, Saturday, Sunday, I'm at 8 different spots, popping up my tent and table with my coolers. The whole thing is I was mobile. I watched the story of Toffee to Go. They're a local Tampa couple that had a toffee recipe that they took and went national with after the wife sent a batch of their toffee to Gail, Oprah's best friend. And Oprah put it on Oprah's favorite things. So after that, they're in trade shows, they're corporate gifts, and they're busier than they could ever be. So me and my ex-wife, we heard that story. We're like, oh, we could probably do that with the cheesecakes. 2 weeks later, I found a commercial rental kitchen. I had my ServSafe food manager's license, and I found markets and events to be part of. First market and event, you asked the one thing I did that changed everything. I never took no as an answer, and I still don't. No is just you don't have the right information for me to say yes yet. That's how I look at no's. So my first actual event where I sold product was a downtown Tampa market. And I had emailed the person that ran the event, talked to her once, was like, all right, if you have everything together, I'll maybe fit you in, but email me and I'll get you the vendor fee and all that stuff. Emailed her back, sent everything, was like, we hadn't heard anything. Packed up my car, tent, tables, products, everything, drove to the event, drove up in the line of people that were supposed to be there already. Was like, hi, I'm the one that emailed you. You never emailed me back. I do this. She's like, oh yeah, sorry, never. I'm like, yeah, I'm here. Do you have an extra space? She's like, oh, yeah, just go ahead, take that corner. You'll need shade, right? I'm like, yeah. And that was my first event.
Nice.
And she was probably one of my biggest supporters after that day because she was like, damn, you just showed up, took the chance. I could have said no. You would have been fine with it too. I was like, yeah, it's whatever. I'm here to make money. This is my first time. Actually, I can sell my product. I got my license here, blah, blah, all this. And I went off from the races from there because I had a good product. I was sampling and people were like, oh my God, this is amazing. This is amazing. That gave me the confidence because I have the background in business. I have the background in marketing, accounting. I have the behind the scenes, and my family had a business and all this stuff. But to do your own idea and your own product and your own everything, that first time, there's that self-doubt that we all have. That voice of all the teachers that said the wrong thing to you, the other adults in the room that said something negative that plays in your head every once in a while you're trying to fall asleep, all that noise that isn't your voice. We all have that. And to me, that's the biggest obstacle we all face. So when we can tell that voice to shut up or ignore that voice or march forward in the face of that voice is where we get our biggest accomplishments. and our biggest victories. And that's where at least I have. Because those days of, well, I'm throwing this out there, I'm making food, and you're trusting me not to kill you. So, I mean, that's the first step right there. I mean, every time we go to a restaurant, that's what we're trusting them not to kill us.
That's true.
So, I mean, we kind of ignore that in the background. But I mean, I just redid my ServSafe food manager's license yesterday and went through that whole thing. And it's like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can kill us out there. It's like 1 degree here or there makes a huge difference on a lot of stuff. So just facing that reality and taking that responsibility is a huge step. And it's a great idea, but yeah.
So with all this experience, what do you think, who is your target market now?
My target market now, I have 4 different target markets for my products. One is the grab and go lunchtime and after dinner customer, where you're either at work, need something sweet to get through the day, have a friend that's having a bad day, you're giving them a little boost by bringing something special back. And then also the nighttime grab and go dessert. You know, you had dinner, you were trying to be good, so you didn't buy the stuff at the store, but you're like, man, I could really use this something right now. So you go to desserts near me and I pop up.
Yeah.
You know, that's where my Google Analytics and me making a presence at all my wholesale accounts and also putting my products on their Google pages and posting photos of my products on their pages helps my sales. So that's another key that I've done to help scale my business on the wholesale side. So like take Duckweed grocery store in St. Pete. They're underneath a hotel, they're on the main Central Grad. But what I also do is on their Google page, I'll leave a review and also post my pictures from my business account. So eat this dessert first. I post cheesecakes and all that. So when people go to their page, they look through the pictures of what they have, they'll see my jars.
Yeah.
It's free advertising, it's free to do. And also the business loves it because it gives them more content. So on that note of what to do with like partners to help you scale, right now, Facebook, Meta, Instagram, all that kind of stuff, they're pushing collaborative posts.
Oh, yeah.
So there's an invite collaborator on everything you do for tagging people. Don't tag people. Message them, say, hey, I'm going to add you as a collaborator for this post because it's going to show my product at your store. And so it's going to show up on your page and my page, and it's going to get us 1,000, 2,000, 3,000% more viewership as we're doing it together than if we did it separately. So coordinate those things with your partners out there and look, that's one thing. All my wholesale accounts and people I sell to, they're my partners. I don't look them as like accounts or numbers or just places I'm selling. I'm partnering with them to not only have a place for my product to be bought, but to elevate their location as well. One of the best compliments I've ever gotten was just happened like 3 weeks ago with one of my new accounts, Cozy Kala in St. Pete. Been talking to him off and on for about 2 months, finally got together, got the products in the store. The first 24 hours, they sold 15 of the 24 jars that I brought.
Nice.
The barista messaged me, is like, hey, we're almost out of your product. Can you bring some more? Blah, blah, talk to the owner. We'll figure it out. All right, cool. 30 seconds later, the owner called me and was like, dude, my guy just called me and said, we already sold 15 of your product. Like, if we keep up half of this rate, you're going to make me an extra $1,000 a month labor free. Thank you. Just that's a small business that's fighting to survive, cover electric that's going up right now, rent increases, everything costs more on the back end. And I'm going to bring $1,000 a month to his bottom line labor free
Right.
and no extra cost. If I'm like, dude, can I get you a video saying that?
Yeah.
Because that's what I need to put on my website for my wholesale clients, because that's what I'm doing. I'm creating a elevated experience at their location where people aren't now leaving to go get food somewhere else, then they're hoping they'll come back.
Mhm.
So some of the Kava locations in St. Pete that definitely don't have room for refrigeration because Kava takes up a lot of their refrigeration, I've made QR codes now for them. They have my Uber and DoorDash. So it's contactless delivery. They just scan that, pops up on their phone. They place an order, Uber delivers it to them. So that's marketing is the key. I mean, if you are owning a business and you are wanting to scale your business, take some marketing classes. Honestly, that's the best advice I could probably give anybody. My associates in marketing is probably the most used degree that I have my whole life because it taught me the basis of how to talk to a future customer.
Mhm.
Sure.
Yeah.
So can you go a little deeper into marketing? Because I think sometimes, for me especially, you get stuck with just social media marketing.
Mhm.
Like, what other ways are there to market? Because I think now social media sometimes spoils you. You think you can just make a post and you're like, okay, this should do it. But what are other ways you market your product aside from social media and partnerships, it seems
Mhm.
like?
Um, Everything I do is marketing. I walk around with this hat on. You may not tell right away, but it says Dessert First. It's my brand. I walk around in my jacket that has different Dessert First on the front and on the back.
So branding.
Branding is marketing. Talking about your product all the time, incessantly. Being out in public, like popping up a tent to showcase a new product. Being on a sidewalk is marketing. Everything you do is marketing. That's what people kind of don't, to me, that's one key part of it, that everything you do about your business to others is marketing your business.
Mhm.
So every conversation you have, every network event you go to, those are really the keys to marketing because then you find out the connections on the back end.
Yeah.
You find the buyers of the local grocery stores. I got connected with the sales rep for a hotel, who then connected me with the general manager, who then connected me with the chef, I now spoke with the owners last night. I'm being brought in as a dessert for the hotel. Thus,
A hotel here.
yeah, in St. Pete.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll be in other hotels. I'm in that process of going into some of the Hampton Inns and other Hilton brands that are pushing local products.
Mhm.
That's kind of where I'm looking at now as my next expansion because it's just an easy
Yeah.
grab and go option for them to have because most hotels now have a fridge and a freezer by their front desk for the overnight instead of having the cooler, the in-room fridge. They have the coolers and stuff just in the main lobby, and that's where cheesecake, custard, perfect for them to have there.
How do you, so, because I've done business, when you said, I was thinking of a hotel, because I've done business with the hotel. Like you said, I don't take no for an answer. I literally sent an email
Mhm.
and I just kept calling, and eventually they reached out and I got an event with them.
Yeah.
But it didn't, yeah, so I do maternity wellness. So I had like a prenatal yoga class, like out in the water, but it's thunderstormed the day of the event, so it got canceled. And I never got that spot back, and I'm sad about it. But listening to you talk, I was thinking, how do you keep that rapport going, like with getting all these different connections? Like, well, it seems like you just keep going, just keep.
It's literally
Just keep knocking at
the
doors.
most time intensive part of my business is networking.
Mhm.
And it's like today I'm here, but I'm missing one of my networkings that I'm normally at every Friday morning. That is to me, one of the best networking groups in this whole Tampa Bay area. It's the Edge Insights group. It's kind of like a mini mastermind. Every week there's a different topic and we brainstorm and we help each other out. And also we are connecting each other with other businesses and providing each other with business. It's just one of those things that it's a special group of people that are all on the same page and we're all trying to be that rising tide
Mhm.
that raises all of us and others around us. So it's hard to do things some places when leadership doesn't have the right mindset. So getting into these networking groups and changing the leadership is key. So if you don't like what you're seeing, say from the Tampa Chamber, join it. Be an ambassador. Show them what you want done.
Mhm.
Go up the leadership role. It may take you a year to go up there, but these places are begging for people to show up and be leaders in their groups because it's a membership-led organization, all these networking groups. So if we can get more people, instead of saying, well, screw it, it's not right for us, because it's not doing the right thing. We see the problems in it. Just like in real life, just like in politics. Don't ignore it. Step up, be the example, and be the change that you want to see. That's why I said earlier, the vision for my business is changing the world one jar at a time. Because my cheesesteaks are in a jar. So I am changing the world. Every jar I sell brings me one step closer to having the funds to actually do the things that I need to do to help be a positive change in this world. Like, I'm in the final stages of starting to approach some corporations to do my charity event this August for back to school art funds. So everyone else does a backpack, does school supplies. No one really pushes for the art supply side and also music instrument rentals. They all cost kids fees and to rent the instruments. A lot of kids don't have the money to afford the instrument rentals. I'm going to be getting corporations to donate money to cover those fees. I'm starting to work with a couple of the Pasco school PTAs and all that stuff and trying and getting all that together. But that's like a major part of me is because without art, we don't have a future.
Right.
Because we need kids to be able to express themselves. It's just what it is. So if we can get more businesses on that mindset of helping the next generation become the next leaders, then we'll be better in the next generations. But yeah, that's a social side of this business, but that's also part of scaling your business. You're not only scaling your business, you're scaling your life because you're scaling your responsibilities and your brand and your person. So as you step up and do more in the community and have more of a presence because your products are everywhere and you're selling more and people are supporting your business, it's kind of a responsibility you're taking on to also support those that are supporting you. And we kind of lost track of that when we got rid of company charters. Because when companies were responsible to making that community better, or else they were kicked out of town, we had better companies. Again, social improvement is part of building a better world for your business to operate in. So
just curious,
Mhm.
how many hours you get for sleep?
Recently I've actually gotten more sleep. I probably average maybe 6 to 7 hours a night. Some nights 4, some nights 8 to 9, but I definitely put sleep on a priority. Naps are amazing. I am a person that will go all day from 5 in the morning. I will sit down on the couch at like 3 in the afternoon, put my head back in my recliner and be out for 40 minutes, wake up and ready to go for a while. But yes, naps are amazing. We had it right as kids. We need to go back to that. We need better society, take that siesta in the afternoon.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, so yeah, it's a balance. Friday night, Saturday mornings are definitely, Thursday to Friday are definitely my shortest nights because I'm at the cafe till 10 at night, back up networking at 8 in the morning. So definitely those Fridays are a long day because I'm then at the cafe till after 11, most Friday nights. So yeah, Fridays this morning was definitely nice. I slept in for an extra hour and a half than my normal wake up time. So doing this was definitely a nice little break. I feel a little refreshed, even though this morning was a little off. I think even people on the radio were saying traffic was off this morning. So I don't know, it's something different about this Friday. But
Is there, so do you have 2 locations, one in St. Pete, and you're opening one here?
I have a pop-up in St. Pete right now, inside of a popcorn shop.
Okay.
And then I'm in the process of finding my own location in St. Pete. Here in Tampa, I have a location that wholesales my product. So that's my main business model is wholesale. And I'm in the process of opening up my first brick and mortar retail location since my first year.
What made you want to get into doing the brick and mortar if you're doing wholesale?
Building the brand identity
Mhm.
and making a third space for people that's non-alcoholic, dessert centric, is something that is missing and something I want in the area.
Yeah.
So if no one else is doing it, I'm gonna do it. And also it's a concept that I'm taking to developers now
Mhm.
that does most coffee shops close at 2, 3 o'clock. I'm a nighttime coffee person. I have ADHD. I drink a coffee and go to sleep. So it's hilarious at night. If I'll make myself a coffee at like 9 o'clock at night, I sometimes will fall asleep while halfway through my coffee.
Oh my God.
And like I'll take like a little 20-minute nap and something my coffee before I go to bed. It's hilarious. But that's what I feel is missing from this area is you don't have late night desserts except for bars and restaurants that are open till 2 in the morning. There's no like safe space.
I agree because I'm the person who likes to work like
Mhm.
that. Like I found a place, but it had to go all the way in Tampa. It's some like coffee bar that's
Mhm.
open till like 3. I forgot what it's called, but I'm like in there on my iPad.
Yeah, pretty much the
Yeah.
only
They used
spaces
to
are
have,
coffee bars.
they used to have Starbucks that were like 24 hours, and I talked to some people that said they missed going because I would go there to study when I was in school, and
Yeah.
I'd go
Yeah.
to work there, and like I'm not drinking coffee per se, but
Yeah.
it's just a nice, it's away from the home
Yeah,
office.
you may grab something to drink or maybe a little snack or something,
Right.
but it's more of the
Yeah.
atmosphere. But you know it's there, so you'll go back and support them at a different time.
Right.
It's not necessarily what you're buying at the moment in those late night hours.
Right.
It's knowing that there's a place that you can exist outside your home.
And it's like you said, it's safe because it's like it's one thing for me to go to like a coffee bar with dessert or something. It's another for me to go to like a place where you know the people are smoking and drinking outside.
Yeah.
It's like I don't want to be here, but they're open.
Yeah, yeah. So that's something even like here in Ybor would be amazing.
Yes, I agree.
I would love to open a spot here in Ybor. I would love.
Have you seen how they're trying to develop Ybor?
Yeah, I'm.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's a place where I would love to fit in.
Yeah,
That'd be
like
perfect.
here. It would be. I think if
I mean,
you guys
I-
look it up,
it-
they're
it- it
expanding
kinda would
all
be-
of it.
Like the completion of a story almost.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like literally, my first main market was the Ybor Saturday morning market. I was here every Saturday. Then I worked with a couple other people, and we opened up the Ybor Daily Market on 7th in the traditional Frankie's Patio. That I mean, there's really that soundstage. I ran a summer concert series on that soundstage that summer
Yeah.
in 2015. That was the first time music had been played on that patio, on that stage since it was Frankie's Patio.
Mhm.
So I mean, it's one of those things there. I brought some amazing stuff to Ybor, done some fun stuff that just didn't quite work out because the timing wasn't right
Mhm.
or the people involved weren't right, you know.
Yeah.
But it's funny now that things kind of are playing around where maybe one of these developers I can work with bring my concept here and complete the comeback, you know, that prodigal business, you know, and instead the prodigal son, I
Mhm.
left Ybor, went out, conquered and did stuff, and now I'm coming back with a cafe
Yeah.
that is going to be a heart of this district in a way that this district hasn't seen before because it's been such a bar centric, club centric, but place that has the mocktails, the dirty
Yeah.
sodas, the desserts at night,
Yeah.
the place where after you leave the bars and the clubs, you can go have like a Cuban sandwich, a Philly,
Yes.
or just something sweet to like bring the party vibe down just a little bit. You know, before you leave, tuck down on DUIs maybe, you know,
I
bring
even bring my kids.
yeah.
Like sometimes I like my kids to see the city. Like I like to,
Yeah.
because I'm not originally from here, so I'm originally from DC. So we see the city. People from New
Yes.
York and all that, we like to be in the city. So when I'm here, I'm like, oh, I like to take my kids to Ybor and let them look around. It'd be nice to, you know, be able to
Yeah.
let them look around somewhere else.
Yeah, so you have that daytime spot for families during the day.
Yeah.
You know, bring your kids in, have that cool milkshake, or
Yes.
I do ice cream floats now. I can like this is the first time I've done ice cream and custards. So I had to figure out I did a spring campaign this year, float into spring with 4 different ice cream floats.
Wow.
From like your orange creamsicle, your root beer. I even did like a strawberry and a peach. So it's all things about scale. This again is diversification of things I already do.
Yeah.
I do cold dairy desserts. Why have I never thought of doing ice cream? Oh wait, I'm not doing ice cream, I'm doing custard. Because there's not a lot of custard out there. There's a lot of ice cream out there. So I'm doing the egg-based custard that is like your creamy, indulgent dessert that isn't out there a lot anymore. Yeah, you have Culver's doing their custard, but that's
No.
mass market, all that stuff.
Right.
I'm literally mixing the eggs by hand, tempering them out, mixing that. It's handmade ice cream.
Yeah.
So that's kind of the different things that I'm doing that is separating me from my competition. But I love my competition. They make me better.
Yeah.
They bring more attention to the area.
Mm-hmm.
I don't see the traditional competition the way a lot of other places do. We may have different motives, and I may want to succeed more than them because I feel like my motive and my why is better than theirs, but they feel the same way about theirs. We all have our why. If it's taking care of your family, if it's providing an income, awesome. If it's wanting to change a little corner of the world, awesome. If it's just
If
because
it's
you like
fun.
doing what you want to do and it's fun, cool, awesome. And that's your why because I want to have fun and this is how I have fun, awesome. But know where you want to go with that. Have that plan. Sit down, make that business plan, make that concept, run the numbers. Know the background of what you're doing. That way you can do it better. Every time I run my numbers, I feel more confident about my business. Whether it's in a good way or a bad way, I can feel confident that I'm changing directions, or I'm confident that I'm trimming something and diving more into this one area. So that's part of basically your self-audit. And a lot of what I'm saying in business is also in life too. Like, do this with yourself. Audit your wholesale accounts, as I say, audit your friends. See who's growing with you, see who's not growing with you. You are who you're in the room with. So if you are the smartest of your friends, find some friends that are smarter than you.
Yeah.
Don't be the smartest one in the room.
Mhm.
Find people that know other things in other industries. Like my biggest marketing win was working with a local realtor back in like 2015 when like Facebook geotagging and geolocation marketing was first starting. That's how he marketed his homes for sale. So if you drove by the home, like the algorithm would have your location and he would send an ad through the feed and it would have ads. I was like, hold on, you're doing what? So I did that with all my wholesale locations throughout the whole run. So every time I got a new grocery store, I would then go on Facebook into that location and add that zip code and 5 mile marker. So anybody who lived in those 5 miles around that grocery store would see my ads pop up in their feeds.
That's the kind of stuff I want to learn how to do. Because now I'm realizing that people aren't watching TV like they used to. We're on our phones. So the ads are the new commercials.
Ads and also like Tubi
Yeah.
and those types of TV streaming services, that's where marketing dollars should be going now.
Yeah.
It's easy to do on the streaming services. You just basically go to their website, advertise with us, or advertise and see what their programs are, see what their costs are.
Mhm.
It's like super niche because they have all the data. They literally have all the data of what you watch, what commercials, your Wi-Fi information, so what your phones are going off. There's crazy how niche they can get on that stuff.
How do you make your ads? I feel like now you kind of just I made a mock-up like commercial on a AI app because
Yeah, that's a great way to like conceptualize your program or what you want to film. Go into your AI of choice,
Mhm.
write in, prompt it right, like take my business, use my social media, look at this from the perspective of a CMO for this industry. I am trying to make this into a 30-second commercial. And you write down what you're going to do, and it will like map out 5-second intervals for you, what kind of to frame as an idea. And you can talk back and forth with a CMO type mentality from a marketing agency in your field. And that's one thing.
CMO.
Chief Marketing Officer.
Okay, I'm a nurse. For me, CMO means comfort measures only.
I love that. I love that. Comfort measures only. We need to adopt that in the world.
It's there. You just don't want to be there yet.
Yeah, true. Never mind. Yes.
Not yet.
Oh my God. Yes.
That's another thing for me. I started taking the Goldman Sachs business course because it's free now. Because I'm like, okay, I need more language because I know medical stuff. I
Mhm.
know like the back of my hand, business language. Sometimes I'm like, I'm not there.
Yeah, I mean, the terminology and jargon is a lot in every industry.
Yeah.
I even question it sometimes because like there's multiple term, there's one term like the C-suites can have multiple meanings sometimes. Like there's like the CMO could be, forget, there's another CMO, what is it, marketing and management officer, and then there's this, anyway, that's a whole nother side of things to learn.
Hmm.
That's my-
So let's say if a new business and they want to
Yeah.
get into they're doing business in business, they want to get into that wholesale era. How do you go about approaching it? If you were going to do it again today, how would you go approaching like another grocery store or another business that could possibly be a good collaboration or partner?
Right now, my way of targeting is getting just to the front door. I kind of have a cheat code because I have cheesecake. I show up at someone's door with cheesecake and be like, "Hey, I got some cheesecake for y'all to try. Who can I talk to?"
So preparation of
Yeah.
the product.
Yeah, product presentation and just going in and asking who to talk to. That's not being afraid to walk in somewhere not knowing who you're going to talk to. You're like, "Hey, I'm so and so with so and so. Can I talk to the person in charge of X, Y, and Z? What are you trying to? What's your process?"
So my product side vitamins because I do
Okay.
maternal wellness, so
Mhm.
I've created prenatal vitamins,
Okay.
postnatal vitamins. So I would like to get into like some local spas, you know, people want to work out and take all their supplements, but I also would like to get into grocery stores, CVS.
Okay. So I would talk to like your yoga studios, your Pilates studios, and places like that,
Yeah.
and just see, hey, do you carry vitamins and supplements? If do, what do I need to do to get on your shelf?
Mhm.
Maybe you would need to start with consignment. Say, hey, I'm going to drop these off. I'll come back in a week or 2 weeks and see what's sold, and I'll take and you write me a check for what's sold, and you come to terms whether it's like 20%, 30%, 40%, whatever the deal is, you work out because that's how I started. I call it the bread delivery method.
Mhm.
Old school people, bread makers would drop their bread off, come back in 3 or 4 days, whatever sold, the grocery store would pay them for, and they would take back what didn't sell that was stale. And it was just the wholesale model, the consignment model is what it's called now.
Mhm.
And that's how I started. It's like literally just, I have no history. You don't know me. I don't know you. Let me just throw a dozen on the shelf. I'll come back in a week to see what's sold. If it's selling, great. If not, well, didn't work, we'll try somewhere else.
That's kind of where I'm at because I have been doing that because I know especially I found a lot of women-owned gyms and they
Mhm.
like women in business, so they actually have all these products and they let
Yep.
them come in and market. So I'm there now. I guess when I asked you earlier, I was thinking, one, do you have a UPC code? Did you do
Yeah.
that too? Okay, so I need
Yeah.
to do that.
Yeah. You can get up to 100 UPC codes on it's ms1.org, I think.
Oh,
Yeah, it's
write that down.
it's the US barcode database, excuse me. And I forget the actual website, but I can look it up for you. It's like USG1 or something like that. It's some initials one, but I have it on my phone. I can look it up afterwards and give you the exact
Thank you.
that place. But yeah, it's like $150 a year to maintain your UPC codes.
Bad.
No,
Up to 100?
Yeah, it's from, you get, there's 1 to 10 that's cheaper, and then you get from 11 to 100, it's another price, and then 100 to 1,000 is another price.
Okay. Good to know.
Yeah, I mean, all my stuff is, from day one, I had to do things like that a lot of like food-based businesses that start don't have to because I'm a cold chain and cold product. So you can start kind of with the cottage law industry if you're a shelf-stable product.
Mhm.
Versus with cold, you have to have full agricultural licensing and then also have a facility to bake and produce your product, store it, have water, sewer, XYZ, the rest of it. Plus, I went to a step further with my CBD licensing as well, is I actually helped write the whole process for having CBD edibles on grocery store shelves in Florida. I worked with Lucky's Market and the Department of Agriculture to write the stipulations, QR codes. I submitted like 20 different labels to them for approval, all this back and forth. And what you see now at grocery stores and places that aren't just gas stations, I helped pave the way for that.
Mhm.
So working with regulators, amazing. Don't be
Yeah.
afraid to work with people that are regulating products because you can help set new standards.
I found a manufacturer. They're international, of course.
Mhm.
The local ones did not. I got no feedback, so I had to go across the water.
Oh, yeah.
But yeah, looking up the regulations and all that stuff.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's a process.
Now, I would say the number one thing that stops people from growing and scaling is funding and having to figure out where you start with funding. So I already have a product and things that I'm selling. So I can start scaling at that next phase from where you're at.
Mhm.
So like once you get into say 10, 15 stores and you're selling and you have like a monthly revenue that's steady, but you want to take that next step, maybe have a shelf at a local market, and that costs so much a month
Mhm.
to get your shelf space. So you need to raise funds. Take something like I'm doing right now to raise funds for my cafe. I'm pre-selling items and I'm also creating a new society. It's called the Empty Jar Society because I have mason jars. After you eat, it's an empty jar. So it's the Empty Jar Society. First level is you get a coffee a week for a year. That's normally almost $400. It's $200 up front. And you can come in each week and get coffee. Now, does that cost me a lot? No, it doesn't cost me a lot each week because it will go into my other 500 coffees that I do. But to get that $200 up front from say 15 people,
Right.
that's $3,000 to help me buy my first round of products for that. So then I have upwards towards some VIP packages where I'm offering catering for 20 people. I'm offering VIP dinners, exclusive empty restaurant events, stuff like that. So there's different levels. And if I can raise all this, that's like another 20, 30 grand into my bank where I can actually go out and fund the full opening of my place. I can pay the influencers to do their social media posts that are $1,000 for this and that because they have 2 million local followers. Some of the major local mover or like, this is awesome Tampa Bay, this is awesome St. Pete, those major accounts, you have to spend money to get on those because they're making a living doing what they do. So you're paying them for their service of promoting you.
Yeah.
That's part of marketing, but you have to have those funds to do that. Like before that, you can get on local TV, you can get on local radio, you can do spots here and there, and you can find out those ways by just getting your information in front of those people.
Yeah.
Like Sean Daly found me on Super Bowl week. So he came out to my shop, did a little promo about my breakfast, my cheesecakes, my this and that. It aired over Super Bowl weekend. So I got a couple big Super Bowl orders as well for catering, and then also had my best 2 weekends. And then since then, those weekends are now not my best weekends.
Right.
So it's that growth over time. I've had a couple local influencers come in St. Pete and have items and stuff like that. And they've pushed me out, and that's helped get notoriety and stuff like that. Now I already have 4 different accounts set up for when my cafe opens. They are already coming out to do stories on the cafe as soon as it opens to drive people there.
Nice.
I already have people coming out for events to hold. They normally hold like a 50-person event every month. They're already said, as soon as it's open, I'm going to have one of my events at your place to bring people to you. I have networking groups that are waiting for me to have a place to come bring people to. So I'm developing a space where things and ideas will be created that is attached to my wholesale brand that is going to spread my products throughout the whole world at some point. Before COVID, I was in 120 stores. I was talking to Tree of Life in Canada for distribution throughout Canada for everything from my cheesecakes to my new beverages lines that I was coming out with. Talking to Walgreens, CVS, all the majors, and then I also had a importer working on some stuff in Europe then too. So that's where I'm sailing back to at this point.
How did you get like your staff? Did you start with just family and then you kind of started?
I started with me and my ex-wife, were the two that started the business. And I approached some friends to help me on production days. With my product, with it being in the jar, I can produce, say, 5,000 jars at once. And then I have storage and I can then over the next 2 weeks, put them out to locations. Then come back again, make another large batch and then do the same process.
And that was just you guys loading it up in your truck or and just
Coolers at my truck, driving around from Tampa to Pensacola to Jacksonville to Miami to Naples.
yeah.
I was everything.
Mhm.
I talked to a distributor. Unfortunately, that didn't work out. My first distributor didn't work out, paid them a bunch of money, gave them a bunch of product, and nothing went anywhere. So learned a lesson there. You know, it's when things don't work out, sometimes you learn a lot more than when they do work out easily because, oh, that's just how things work. Oh, so that was easy. And then you face challenges further on. So sometimes when your first thing fails, you're prepared for the next time around.
Yeah.
Like this round of me trying to find a spot, realtor developer kind of approached me for this kind of bad spot. I mean, it's on the main drag. It's great. It's tiny, needs a lot of work, and it just isn't set up right for my business. So they were like, what do we need to do to get you in there? Send us an email. Like, okay. Listed out like the 8 things. I needed a drain in the floor. I needed the bathroom reworked. I need this done. I need that done. Like, probably 80 grand worth of work. And then we're like, okay, look at the term sheet. Tell us what you would want to do on the term sheet. So I'm like, all right, knocked down rent like $10 a square foot. Did this, did that, gave them a little on the back end. Waiting to hear back. If they do all that and give me that rent, I'm like, shit, okay, I'll move in. You know, it's one of those things. If you do all of that and give me those terms, I can make that space work. Because I'm also still going to need a production center. And that's one of those things you have to know what you need and don't just take an opportunity
Yeah.
and make yourself pliable to them. If they're approaching you, you have all the cards.
Yeah.
Especially if it's the last piece of their like reworked little corner of the world and they're
Right.
trying to get this one little oddball space that no one else wants.
Yeah.
They may be willing to move more than someone that is like, oh, we have 15 offers on this place already. No, they're like, no one else wants this place. Can we fit you into it? Versus another spot I'm looking to is the absolute beautiful spot, which someone unfortunately just left the state because something happened in their family, left the keys and left everything in there. Literally, I can open the door, have my inspection, start selling food. Everything's already there. That is like my dream. It's 3 times the rent as the little,
the rent.
you know, but
So.
it's 3 times the rent because it's 3 times the space. But it also has $100,000 worth of equipment in there. So I'm like, you know,
That's tempting. Like we can do it.
well, my sales right now can already afford the rent and the electric.
Yeah.
So I can't really pay myself, but if I'm operating on 22 hours a week right now at the pop-up location. Because just to be honest, when the popcorn people are there, they're not really selling my product because they're producing their product and stuff like that. So they're not really interacting with
Yeah.
people. They're just
It's
more
just
of a
on the
production
shelf.
center. Yeah. So it's more of just a wholesale location where I'm there. My customers know to come after 4 o'clock to come and see me. And it's kind of my regulars at this point. And the people in the neighborhood know me are like, oh yeah, we were told to come see you. And we were told to come in the afternoon. So I'm building a atmosphere because I don't like to really say this a lot because it can sound braggy, but I create a special atmosphere. I'm a special person. I'm an individual. I have something different about me than others, and we all do.
Yeah.
But I enjoy creating a safe, enjoyable space for others to enjoy life because it's something that I missed as a child because I was always on my own by myself because I didn't really fit in at school and I wasn't that social there. So now having a space that I'm creating for those that may not fit in other places to have a space to fit in is something that I'm enjoying creating. So I don't know. It's a vibe.
But now everything fits in a jar though.
Yeah, everything I do fits in a jar,
Everything.
or now we'll be going on a flatbread.
So for your brick and mortar, you know, when you eventually get there, and you kind of mentioned something in that last statement you made, and I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, like, you're the brand. Like,
Yeah.
that's part of his marketing. Like, I know Joseph, and every time I see him, he's wearing a uniform, he's got a hat on. Like, that's the marketing I always know is, you know, what he's doing. How is any of that going to change? Because obviously brick and mortar is a lot more work.
Yeah.
Bringing on
You're
staff.
being on staff, like, how do you, or do you already have an idea of how you're going to, obviously we can't replicate you, like,
Yeah.
exactly, but you have to replicate that vibe that, because it's branding, that's part of the brand, is like the vibe that you give off, you know?
Yeah,
Are you ready for that, to give up some hats to do that? Because that's a lot of things for entrepreneurs too. You guys wear so many, especially early years, then when it times to grow, like, you don't want to give up things.
I can't wait to have my team. I can't wait to develop this special team
Mhm.
that is going to be an extension of me and others like me that are going to be wanting to work with me.
How do you go with the team, like the background part? Because that's where I hit a lump in the bump in the road. Because I had people who actually wanted to work, and then it dawned on me, I'm like, you don't have the funds to pay them like you want. You don't have the benefits package. And I was like, okay, I'm not ready yet.
I mean, right now, 1099 is how I deal with people.
Okay.
I have my team. I've worked with some of the same people for over 10 years now. That's going to be the core. Also now the core has a son that's 20. So he's being brought along with
Your son?
no, their son.
Oh, they're okay.
My
Okay.
husband and wife. It's her stepson, his son. I've known him since he was a kid. So he's done great things in other areas too. So he's probably gonna be one of my core teams as well. But my pay structure is definitely gonna be one thing that brings the right people to me. My minimum wage is $20 an hour.
Wow.
My goal is to do $25 minimum at this point. But again, once you start paying people payroll, real cost of $20 wage is $24 with taxes, blah, 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 vacation. Because I may not be able to give you benefits right off the bat, but you're still gonna get 2 weeks vacation right off the bat paid. That way I'm not running you into the ground.
Mhm.
So I mean, that it's just to me, there's standards in life. And if I can't pay people and I can't treat you like a human that needs to live, eat, work, play, relax, then I need to do the job myself.
I
You're,
agree.
yeah, you're doing it the right way. 'Cause
So-
we had an HR company come here a while ago, and they were saying, like, a lot of small businesses, they can't afford to give everything to their employees. Understandably, like you said, you can pay them decently, but you can't do benefits.
Yeah.
So you give them perks like the 2 weeks vacation.
Yeah.
You know, stuff here and there. Like, you give them little things that
Like
make it easier.
for me, for my late night crew that does like the 9 to 3 shift. My normal crew, you get a meal and a drink per shift. For my late night crew, you get a meal and 2 drinks. It's an extra perk for working late. So
Right.
you may have your meal and something like when you first come in, but around midnight you want another drink and you don't want to like use your employee discount or whatever. It's a free drink. It's what it is.
Maybe
It's just
maybe the boss comes by and brings a pizza or something like that.
yeah.
I love that because before I became a nurse, I used to work in a place and we were not allowed to eat the food. I was a waitress, and it was like, we're here all day. Why can we not eat the food? They were
Yeah.
firing people. Like, we saw you take a biscuit off the thing. Like, I've been here for 5 hours. I can't have a
It's like
biscuit.
to me, there is a difference between grabbing a snack because you're hungry and you've been working your ass off. I'm sorry, working your butt off, and trying to rob the place by eating everything.
Right.
Now, if there's someone exploiting the rules, confront them, talk to them, dismiss them if need be, but don't punish everyone else for one person.
We were not allowed to eat at all.
See, that just does not make sense to me
They
in the
had
food
the
business.
camera, like they were mean.
I mean, I get having to have cameras for like food stuff
Yeah.
and all the other stuff and theft and just making sure any violence happens or, you know,
Yeah.
stupid stuff happens. People are people and emotions happen. And unfortunately, you need to have records of some of it. But I mean, trusting your employees, if you can't trust your employees, why are you have them as an employee?
Right.
That's where I'm looking at because yes, get a background check. Get all your
Yeah.
I's dotted, T's crossed, all that stuff. Have your payroll company do all this stuff properly. But in the end, you're dealing with people. They're gonna have mornings where they wake up with a headache. They're gonna have mornings where they don't have enough money in the bank at the end of the week to cover their bills. They're gonna have weeks where their mother just got diagnosed with something. Realizing that you're dealing with humans is the key to a successful business, both your customers and your employees. And scaling the business that way with a life mindset is the key because life happens to everybody, your customers. Take that extra moment with your customer.
Mhm.
One of the best things that I've seen at my cafe doing this third space, I do a Sunday nights coffee and conversations from 6 to 9 o'clock every Sunday night at the cafe. You can bring your own beverage, bring your own food, support the cafe. It's just come and see what conversations happen. There was like 6 of us there just talking. This woman comes in, she's just kind of quiet. She's looking through the fridge where the cheesecakes are. She grabs one. And we all stop and we start talking to her. How are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. And she's almost to tears. She tells us she's there because her sister wants a slice of cheesecake before she passes. She's in the hospital and she may pass that night. She went ahead and told us her sister's life story. Now 6 of us know her sister's story and carry that with us. And we had that amazing experience with her and gave her sister comfort in a moment and a way to just exist outside of having to be the caretaker for that moment and be taken care of by others. To me, that's probably the best moment I've had at the cafe, just because I've been in her shoes. Food and being there for others goes a long way to just giving comfort. And we all need that at moments in our lives. And whether it's family, friends, or strangers, if I can provide a space or a item that can bring those people together in those moments, then I feel I'm making the world just a little bit better. And if that's what I do throughout my life, then I've had a very successful.
Mm.
No matter if I've scaled this, failed, anything else, or if I'm just at a little corn booth, it's what I love to do.
Mhm.
Yeah, it's very
Yeah.
important. People forget that. I work for a medical supply company and we would go in and do sales calls every so often to like ALFs and stuff like that. And-
Yeah.
But I would never really sell, I would just talk to people because they just want someone to talk to, want to hear their life story. Like they're just going day to day without any interaction of like, well, I'm not gonna sell to you if you don't want anything, but I'm gonna talk to you.
Yeah.
You know?
It's those moments that you may not get the sale in that moment or get the account, but you're still growing and you're still becoming better because of those moments that you hear of others and take those moments to share.
Yeah.
Sorry, got deep there for a little bit, but that's all about business. I mean, we're
A business is people skills.
yeah. I mean,
Mhm.
technically, right now, I mean, businesses are treated as people in this world, so we might as well start being better people as businesses and showing that we don't have to. While court rulings show that we may have to take care of shareholders, let's keep our businesses private and off the public markets so we don't have to answer to the shareholders. So, and that's when we can make a huge change. And work with nonprofits. That's another key.
Yeah.
I would say a key to scaling and growing your business is working with your local nonprofits. Because when you give back to your community selfishly, I mean, unselfishly, where you aren't looking for the return, you're just looking to be a support system for those nonprofits in whatever way you can, whether it's a gift card for a raffle, whether it's showing up at their event and just making it a little bit better for the attendees and their other vendors,
Yeah.
or, dropping off some sweets or some coffee to their front desk people during the week at some point. You know, it's they are the front lines of the most vulnerable people in our society, and they are doing the work that a lot of us don't have the emotional capacity or bandwidth to do. So if we can support them that are doing the hardest work, then that's the minimum we can do.
Yeah.
And that will pay back in ways you will not even imagine over time. I've worked with nonprofits for Park, which helps developmentally challenged adults obtain work through their training programs,
I used to
and
work there. I was one of their nurses.
they are a great program. I have a couple of dishes that were made by their students that are some of the best things I've gotten as a thank you. Yeah, it's a thank you. I did their annual gala a couple years in a
You get
row.
paid back on a spiritual level and that's the,
It's the pride and self-worth that they have in their when they work in their cafe or do something like that. And it's just amazing to see what people can do when they're supported. And supporting those that support others is what a business should do for the community. So yes, there's numbers, there's sales, there's metrics and all of that. But if you're doing it the right way and you have the numbers to back you up, you'll make it work.
there's a time and a place.
Yeah, you can't save everyone. You can't help every nonprofit. You have your areas that you care about and make the difference where you feel that your heart is, because others have the heart for those other options. Like for me, it's people. I have to help people, and others got the environment. Other people have got the this, the that, the healthcare. I'm more concerned about making sure people are fed, have a house, and can see a doctor. And part of that is art, part of that is food, and part of that is nonprofits providing healthcare where we as a society have failed people. So if we can elevate people to have a house, then they can enjoy a meal better. If they can enjoy a meal better, then they'll be healthier. They won't need medicine as much. If they have art and a way to express themselves, they'll be able to mentally do things better. When they are fed, when they have art, then they can actually express themselves, be healthy, and get a job. All these things bring people back to being a whole person. Because if we're not a whole person, we're not really surviving, we're just existing. And we have to go from existing to surviving to thriving. And that's part of our responsibility with each other and with our businesses. Like you said, you take prenatal nut vitamins and prenatal health care. You're starting before life begins, per se, before the birth certificate. You're there creating a foundation that will help people be better 20 years from now. So I look at what you're doing as amazing, because you're helping people in 20 years be able to do things that they would not be able to do without your help and without your knowledge base that you're providing others. So that's your why, I think, is you're helping people be better. You want to see people be better, right?
Yeah, even I have a part for men too. It's nice for the whole family. Like I want resources for men because I'm like the dads need help, because a lot of dads are like, oh my God, I got a kid. What am I supposed to do? I don't have money.
That's
So
one of
like,
my
bring on the resources, like therapy, insurance, all that stuff, resources.
That's one of my major things too, because a lot of the help for people around here is for women and children. Single men and fathers are left kind of to fend for themselves. And it's been the island that's been out there for too long that if we can take the stigma off help for men and provide it to more, we
Send him
can.
here.
Yeah.
You know a man, send him here.
I mean, we just had 1 million cups a few weeks ago where there was a difference between men's groups and intergender groups and the toxicity that can exist sometimes in just men's groups when they have the wrong outlook on things. But then also the good men's groups that can bring in the toxicity that can be out there and show just a little tilt, and it's not toxic anymore. It's just the perspectives on things. And we need to talk about that in society instead of just being pushed away from it and like silencing it. So that you
Yeah.
include the men, that's even amazing. So thank you.
And I think my thing too, just, off a general idea, men are very solution based.
Mhm.
So I was like, well, I don't, because I think about how I'm like, how do men think? And it's like, well, I don't want to just go and sit around and talk about my feelings. Like they
Yeah, no.
want solutions,
Yeah.
like insurance, benefits. They're thinking like, what do you actually have that will work for me? So
We've been thinking about it in our heads for years.
Yeah.
We're ready for the solution because everything we've tried hasn't worked. And we're ready for an actual solution that works because we're tired of trying stuff that doesn't.
yes.
Because that's unfortunately where I am with a lot of stuff. And I've gone through therapy, I've gone through this, I've gone through that. I've
Yeah.
found stuff that works for me is going through to TED Talks of professors and therapists on their TED Talks on YouTube and just going to the sources of the actual data side. Because I'm more data driven.
Mhm.
So again, you have to figure out there's women that are data driven, there's women that are this and that, but men are really analytical on a lot of stuff and want just results. We're tired of this and that. We want
Yeah.
how can I get from here to here?
Yeah. So I offer like asset management, like how to set up accounts for your kids, things like something.
Yes.
Because some people just don't have exposure. So I was like,
Oh my
well,
God, yes.
let's do that because I can't solve all your problems, but I can give you some resources.
And being honest with that, it's like I'm not going to solve your problem, but I'm going to here give you a couple tools and resources where you can do a few things here and there. It's the same thing with a business. Like right now, my major issue is I can't go to a bank to get funding because my current sales aren't at a fundable level. So instead of me being told, oh, you can't get a loan right now, sorry, you can't help you there. Okay, I already knew that. I'm asking you, what can we do?
Yeah.
And what are my options right now to create, say, $10,000 to do this? What do I need to do this? I'm not looking for a bank loan because I know I'm not there. What is a solution to this problem? Because I'm using my knowledge base, I don't have a solution right now. So I'm reaching out to you to hear some solutions from people that are either in an industry or a similar industry that have gone through this phase before.
Right.
So that's where the networking and human connections come into because you can ask people what they think and what their options are. Like I found this one company that is new, it's called InKind. They sell your gift cards to your business and pay you. It's basically like a what's that group? It's a Groupon,
Groupon?
but they prepay you
Ah,
for what they buy. It's basically half off. They'll give you say $5,000 for $10,000 worth of your gift cards. But that's $5,000 up front, and people may or may not use the gift cards and stuff like that. But like Groupon, they had to use the Groupon to get paid for it. This you're paid up front. And then they sell the gift cards either at discount or to people that are wanting to give away gifts, stuff like that. So it goes out. I mean, that's a great business model. And I love that's out there now. I didn't know about that. Someone told me about that when I was looking to raise some funds. So I have an application in with them right now to see what they're willing to do. It's based on sales. They have an algorithm and all that stuff for their business model. And they're also a new venture capital business. So they're funded right now. They're seeing if this would actually work as a business or not. So there's a bunch of rich people that put money into this business. Hey, I'll take some of the rich people money to put it to my business.
Me too.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Joseph.
I
We
have
can stick
one-
around.
I
Go
have
ahead.
one, I have a question that's not really related to scaling, but maybe kind of is. And I apologize, if somebody asked when I stepped out. Because you use mason jars,
Mhm.
do you have any sort of return plan, like a quarter off your next dessert if you bring it back?
Once I have the sanitation equipment in my own facility, yes, I will be doing that. Also, I work with other businesses that do like a bring your own jar filling companies
Oh.
that are like zero waste. There's one in St. Pete called Sam's Market.
I think there's one on, in Seminole Heights too.
Yeah,
But,
yeah.
like I got lotion from there.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, like you basically bring your own jar, they fill it, they weigh it, and basically that's how I tell people. And then also, it's an empty jar challenge, is what I've had my whole existence, is show me what you're doing with my empty jars.
Oh, okay.
So
So you're
people-
encouraging reusing if you
Yes.
don't,
Reuse,
if you don't bring it
recycle,
back. Yeah.
or
Oh, I love that.
repurpose in a different way. Like some people put their air plants,
Mm.
some people do their whole bathroom with all their cotton balls, Q-tips, stuff.
Yeah.
I've seen guys do their whole garage with the screws, bolts, nuts, all that kind of stuff.
Oh,
I
that's
think I'm using
cute.
yours for paint at the moment for what I'm
Yeah.
doing.
I've had a lot of college students find creative ways to keep things fresh
Yeah.
in the jars since they are airtight and sealed.
Nice.
That was an
That's
amazing find at USF one year. Was like after a few, they were like, "We love your jars." I'm like, "You're welcome." But yeah, there's many uses for the jars afterwards, but also there's a smash room in Brandon that
Yes.
have gotten a few of my jars.
Cool.
And just, people throw them up to get back to them. They make great impact as well. So, that rage and frustration we all have at some points, have a brick wall, throw up against it.
I want to cry when I see the water bottles and soda cans in the garbage. So I was
Yep.
like, oh man, and I give gifts in mason jars. And I'm like, look, you don't have to give it back to me, but don't throw it in the garbage.
Yep.
Put
And
it in
then-
recycling, make a pencil holder out of it. Just don't throw it in the garbage.
And then
It's
even
just-
like my chips in the apple are in plastic, it's torn plastic, so it's biodegradable. It's just prices are high right now, yes. So why not do things the right way if they're gonna cost you 10 cents more anyway? Because you're paying more anyway. So let's do things the right way. Let's not pollute the world. Let's actually make the difference from the ground up, from everything that you can. Yeah, I still use plastic spoons and forks because the other ones are ridiculously expensive
Oh,
right
like the
now, and
bamboo
there's
or whatever,
literally like no way I can afford it. But as sales volume goes up, profits go up, I will switch over when I physically can. So it's little things that I can't control right now because I am small. I'm not a Coca-Cola.
Right.
To me, Coca-Cola should be using corn plastic, not plastic, because they are a large enough company that can afford to do things the right way.
Yeah.
They're just making the choice not to.
No, but those billionaires need another yacht. You know?
No, they need the giant yacht to transport their regular yacht.
Sorry.
Remember,
I just know you and I are very much on the same page, I can tell.
We're that. I mean, as
But
far as
yeah,
branding goes, I mean, I
exactly.
walk around with t-shirts in St. Pete with my business hat on and political statements all the time because I am who I am. My brand is who I am. I've unfortunately been doxxed, been other things for my other news media brands that I run as well. But if we're going to be part of this world, let's do something to be what we want it to be. And I'm not afraid of putting my business out there as well, because other businesses do the same in other ways. So the more I am me, the better my business gets.
Well, I think being in St. Pete, you're in a good place to have morals like.
Yeah,
people
St.
should
Pete,
go to the
Tampa,
doctor. Yeah.
I mean, it's definitely a good bubble of Florida to be in. But this translates down to Miami, translates up to the little towns in Lake City where my products have been in. I mean, this translates universally. We just have been told it doesn't. So it's the loud minority is getting more of a minority, and the quiet majority is getting louder and louder every day. So all I have to say is use your businesses, vote with dollars to campaigns, use your voice to vote in the ballot box. And that's how you scale your life and your business, by making laws that are better for both. Because we have to change the laws to make our businesses better, change the laws to make our lives better. It's just part of the process. And that's why I'm in the rooms that I'm in. And that's why I use my voice. Chambers, districts, be in the rooms, be in the conversations.
And you're not, what are your days that you're at your St. Pete shop?
Right now, Thursday through Sunday. Thursday, it's 4 till 9:30. Friday and Saturday, I'm open till 11 p.m. Sundays, I'm open till 9 or later, depending on what event is going on. Currently, I am a watch party for the AEW All Elite Wrestling pay-per-views. They're about once a month on Sundays. There's no other place to do that right now in St. Pete, so.
What's the address?
It's 2533 Central Avenue, St. Pete, inside Sunshine City Popcorn, across the street from Jimmy's Tacos, which is an Ebor favorite.
Oh, I was just in St. Pete last Thursday. I wish we had this conversation a week ago, because I was just there last Friday and Saturday and for Rays games, and I'm going back on
Oh,
Monday.
yes, 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 it was a fun Yankees weekend.
No, it was not as a Yankees fan.
No, true. As a Yankees fan, but to me, seeing
Oh,
all
but-
the Yankees fans
Oh, yeah,
out
they-
in St. Pete
They
and just
outnumbered the
seeing
Rays
the
fans.
white and blue everywhere. My whole family's from New York, born and raised. They were born and raised. I was the first one raised down here, so I'm kind of a Floridian with New York blood, I say. So the Yankees are my home team, but I grew up down here watching the Cubs every day after school. And without the Cubs, we wouldn't have the Rays. Because WGN raised a generation of baseball fans that then pushed for the Rays to be here in St. Pete. So thanks to the Cubs and the Yankees, having the Yankees fans down here that love baseball, having the kids watching the Cubs games, and having those two teams here that first week of the home opener for the Rays was kind of special to me. Seeing that the team I grew up watching and seeing the team I grew up rooting for here celebrating the reopening of the Trop after the hurricane and the year and everything like that, it was really a emotional homecoming for the Rays and the city of St. Pete. That was really special. And having those two teams here, I just thank the schedulers to making that happen because they had a little mini Wrigley Field.
Steinbrenner's nurse. I used to work for the Steinbrenners before they passed.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's,
Oh, wow.
it's a small world. I used to get all the free gear. She would give me the hats and the bats and the rings. And
Oh my gosh, that's so
I have a
cool.
connect for both of you, a couple that might benefit you. So for men's group, we had a past presenter for 1 million cups. It's certified single. She's looking for speakers for their men groups because
Okay.
that's the hardest draw in.
Yeah.
So I'll connect you with her. And
Please.
then there's one called, I think it's the Vecina Cafe. They presented before too. They
Yes.
have a dad's group. And they're always looking for people to speak or to help out.
yeah.
So I'll get you both those connections. I'm getting ready to turn the live stream. I just want to say, Joseph, I can't wait till you open up your spot. That's definitely going to be a draw for me to go over to St. Pete more often. And then I want to make an announcement that we have 1 million cups every Wednesday from 9 to 10. Joseph is an alum from that. That is an opportunity for presenters, small business owners to speak about their business in 6-minute formats, and they get feedback from the community. This usually has like 30 to 40 people in this room. And then on Monday, this Monday coming up at 8:15, we have Mindset Mondays with myself and Dr. Shane Smith. And pretty much it's like a group like this size, a little bit more sometimes. And we just talk in an intimate setting about everyone's business and what they're doing and what they need help with. So welcome to come to that as well. But yeah, feel free to keep networking and talking. I'm just going to shut the live stream off.
Thank you for having me.
Yeah, of course. Thank you.
Thank you.
And if you want to go back and rewatch this and stuff like that, it's on our Facebook page for 1 million cups.
And I thought,
cool.
and I thought I knew you.